with my first question, I'd like to start with your extensive experience in the teaching and research in the field of law. I'd like you to share some insights on the current state of law of education in India. And what do you believe are the strengths and what do you think it needs improvement?
So good. So current state of legal education is both dynamic and also I can say evolved. So reflecting both blend of traditional and modern. Okay, why it is a traditional is because we follow curricula whatever bar council says we have to follow. We have a rigorous academic curricula, particularly which provides solid foundation, or I can say that principles, basic principles are important. That foundation principles. Of course, it also emphasizes practical, knowledge. Being a lawyer, he or she has to have a practical. So, current thing definitely the bar council, whichever providing both. It is I can say that traditional and also modernity. Traditional helps preparing the law students have a the approaches are principles. Then modernity, of course, we have to evolve according to the changing times. That's what this thing. It is both. I can say that. So when I say, apart from the basic principles, the current education also provides practical things like, moot courts, internships. That is the important thing, now we are. Today, it's like a balancing. Graduates, well versed with the theory as well as practice. Okay, that's what, I can say today's this thing is. So there are, of course, law schools. Today, if you look at, today law education has to believe in multidisciplinary. I'll come to that maybe. But, that's what, both blend of modernity and also traditional. That's what I feel that. There is a lot of scope, of course, focus. Today, we have to have a specialized, areas. Today, we have to, of course, where globe is going. Today, we are, living in a globalization, liberalization. All these things are, affecting the education system in general. And of course, legal education is no exception to that. What kind of change is happening across the globe? Based on that, now we have to, involve here in our approach also. That's why I said that, culture of research, critical thinking, encouraging the students, look at contemporary, not only in Indian context, but, elsewhere, what is happening. Yes, global context. We all should, work in that direction. That's what I feel,
Okay, so given the rapid changes in the law and technologies, right? How the changes are going on. So how do you envision the future of law education in India? And what steps should the law schools take to ensure that the curriculum remains relevant and prepares the student for the future?
Of course, I always say that, law and technology, goes together. Law follows technology. Technological developments necessitate the legal, thinking. For example, the Wright brothers invented, aircraft in 1903. The moment when Wright brothers invented, aircraft has a cross-border in nature. Okay, so how to regulate if it is going, other countries are crossing other countries' border, then
Technology is
regulate. Technology. It is true with space. For example, today people talk a lot on the space technology after this Chandrayaan. And on 4th October 1957, that's Sputnik 1, was launched by former Soviet Union, began a new era or new age, what we call. The moment, when I say 4th October, 14th November, within 2 months, United Nations, General Assembly came out, urging, international community use this technology for peace. What I mean to say that, the moment technology happens, that's where I call it a techno-driven law. Technology and law go together, whether it's, air law, or space law, or IP law, or IT law, you name anything, this is very much, connect with the law and technology.
Basically, it should be parallel to the law education.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Prabhav, what is happening is technology is, going in a faster manner. Today, some technology is there today and tomorrow, that. But law is not catching up. That's the whole challenge today we are facing is that, the kind of technological developments which are posing challenges, problems, law is not taking up. That's why revolutionary technologies. Law is evolving. Law is in a very, slope. That is the one, big challenge today That's why in forward-looking approach should law schools or law educators, we should say. What I feel first thing is we must incorporate emerging areas like in the curricula also. Like today we talk a lot on cyber law, data privacy, artificial intelligence, all this kind of technology related things. Law school should evolve. That's one area. Second, strong emphasis should be interdisciplinary. Today, I can tell you, law is can't go alone, or management can't go, or technology. We have to go in tandem. Okay, that's where we believe interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach. That is where law school should be. I can say evolve. And I can tell you my own experience. Today, I have designed a lot of courses: air law, space law, or maritime law, GIS, remote sensing. Till recently, I was there in Nalsara, almost 2 decades. Of course, I did my MPhil PhD from JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Aerospace law is my specialist. What I mean to say that when I say multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, I designed courses, law with the management, law with the technology. And today I can tell you all these areas. You can, look at in the web also. These are the courses which are available only in India. I'm talking about in this part of the team. What I mean to say that, I approach, I evolve in this multidisciplinary approach, or law with the technology, law with the management. So that's why strong emphasis should be interdisciplinary learning, and integrating insight from the management, technology, humanities. All these things have to evolve. Then second, other important takeaway is digital literacy. You all know that today digital technology is happening in particularly legal research. Also should take into consideration of e-resources like e-discovery tools, virtual case management. This kind of technology has to be integrated with the legal education or law. So this is one, digital literacy, what we call. Then I strong, believe that, strong collaboration with the legal, industry provide students with practical, real, experiences.
Experience.
How it happens? Yeah. How it happens is through internships. Okay. Internships is a very important, mentorships or internships, in the law firm. Normally here, earlier, in
Yes, sir.
Nalsar, we used to do that. If you ask me other question, what is the secret of, today job, getting jobs in so-called best law schools is nothing but
Job-oriented question. Job-oriented courses.
yeah. Today, I can tell you, I am, in Nalsar, because I had to, 23 years, I am part of the Nalsar, so I had to, share my experience. It's Nalsar, we do provide strong internship. First year, for example, familiarization of libraries, research, again, I'm coming. Second year, we used to, provide NGOs, because social reality, lawyers should know, what is happening in the ground. That's why we used to focus more on the, NGOs or civil society related thing. Third year, we used to send the, district court. Fourth year, high court. Fifth year, like Supreme Court. Nalsar was the first institution which we created clerkship in Supreme Court, I can tell you. So this kind of, practical knowledge, very important. And this kind of things will help students to not only learn, theory, but also learn practical experience.
Okay, so you mentioned about interdisciplinary, as I also know that right now what the new education policies are brought up, they mentioned a lot of things about interdisciplinary subjects. They mentioned about those things. So for my next question, how is the Mahindra University, the School of Law, adapting to the recent changes in the Indian law, as IPC has been removed and Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, and other laws have been passed. And how should the law schools, especially the Mahindra School, Mahindra University, how should they prepare students for these changes?
Okay. Before coming to the Mahindra, I'll tell you general thing. Law is a dynamic. Law has to change according to the socio-economic, political conditions of the society. What is required? Maybe, 100 years, things were different. 50 years, requirements were different. Today, we have to take into consideration what, we require now. Okay? Based on, again, I said socio-political economic. That's the first point. Second, Mahindra School of Law, we are forefront in adopting the recent changes in Indian, implementing the dynamic and contemporary curricula. First thing is, as a law school, we have to see that what kind of curricula I should develop. Is it this curricula is going accepted by industry, or is it taking my students to the global? Of course, friend, here you have to say uh, legal education is regulated by bar council. Okay.
Yes.
We have to follow bar council, norms, whatever the prescribed, syllabi or subjects. But there is a question. For example, 60-70% every law school has to follow. But there is a question, like fourth year, fifth year, we actually the school for internships and practical things, actually internships. So elective courses, seminary courses, one credit course, this kind of innovation we do. If some foreigner is there is authority on that, we can invite, like 16 hours, one credit, that kind of innovation we do here also, but definitely following the bar council norms, wherever the possibility cushion is there, we follow. In Mahindra, that's why I said, adapting the recent changes in India, implementing dynamic contemporary curricula, we involve, like new regulations, legal developments. These are certain things we in Mahindra also. But here, what I am focusing, recently I took over as a team, experimental learning. And my, focus is that, experimental learning or engaging students to the practical, exercises such as moot courts, like I said, moot courts, legal ethics, and also stimulation of, legal precedents. This is where Mahindra be just inculcating, that kind of, culture or practical, culture. Like, 2 days back, I organized a seminar because we do give a lot of projects. How projects can be converted into papers. Okay, my student, did a project submitted to me. But next step is that how student can take up this project and publish. So that kind of, thing we approach we focus in Mahindra. Of course, we focus, I said again, part of earlier my discussion, interdisciplinary education, we build it, and whatever the degree education policy 2020 are, we also adopt that, interdisciplinary approach. And of course, we can't go in isolation. We have to be integrated with the technology, business, these kind of things. Mahindra is known for tech debt, that. That's why my focus here is that law technology related, challenges. And today, technology is, developing leaps and bounds. But illegal side is a lot of factors. That's where we want to, feel that extent possible that, that's what, I want to focus more on that. So this is one. Of course, today, not only Mahindra, but preparing students to take, new challenges, okay, across India. Like, you have to have a judgment, so, practical learning about fostering environment, continuous, what we call continuous legal education. This kind of things, we take. I'm not talking about only Mahindra, but generally, that is what, we have to follow. Bar council mandates we are following, and we are doing it proactive approach. What I can say that ensuring our students are updated with current knowledge. And I believe in not only current but future is important. And maybe I don't know whether you have a question, but today another 5 years, another 10 years, legal profession is going to change a lot. We can say yes. How, for example, India is an emerging nation. You know that India is a sometimes lighter wave. Of course, it is not 19th century international relations were dominated by UK. Okay, European continent. 20th century American continent dominated. Right? 21st century Asia is going to play important role. When I say Asia, maybe China, but India more particularly, being a youth country of the world. Youngest country in the world. We have, what is our greatest asset if you are youth? Human resource. Exactly. It is our youth. Here is a challenge. What is that challenge? This youth should be converted into a productive sort of thing. That is where, our thinking comes. What kind of education we should.
Proper utilization of youth.
Yes. And I believe in that today, schools like Mahindra or Nalsar or best law schools, we look at what globe is required. Don't look at it. Today we have, every year we have, 1.5 lakhs of advocates we produce. In India, I'm talking about, there are 13 to 1400 law schools, law colleges, we produce more than, a lakh of lakhs. But, is it that, product not only sellability in our country, but, we should look at outside. So today, I said globalization, liberalization, privatization, digitization. Recently, one important development which happened, they have a lot of impact on the education, like an education, COVID pandemic. You know that last 3 years, every country affected, every, industry affected, every individual. Maybe there is a degree of difference. That's why this kind of, developments which influence the education and more particularly legal education. That's why we have to think next 5 years, next 10 years, what kind. And being this human resource, I think, I'm talking about legal education. We should have a more flexibility. That flexibility can be converted into a positive thing. Like today, if you ask me, our curricula should be keeping in view of global standards. Our, the product can be anywhere. So where we can do is 100% setting syllabus, like, give it a training. That kind of thinking, we have to, of course, it's a general question, but, relating to, everybody. So this is my take on that, what should be the future legal education, how India can,
Okay, so you mentioned about international law, international education in the law field. So you have a strong background in international law. So how important do you think the study of international law in India, legal education is, how much important is that?
Yes, very much important, but unfortunately, again, I am using the word unfortunately, we neglected international law. And, I tell you, go to the small countries, they are playing important role, But in India, if I ask you, sir, if you name 10, great international lawyers, I don't have one. So why it is? Because we neglect. So, but we can't afford to neglect. But India is, just now I said that 21st century India is going to play role, and law plays important, this thing. That's why I am, a student, because I am a student of international law. So, of course, aerospace is my further area. But we need to look at, and I'll tell you why, this thing is. I don't know whether you have heard something or, there is one agreement called part of the World Trade Organization. GATS agreement is there, General Agreement on Trading, Services. GATT is different from GATS. Today, part of WTO, World Trade Organization, part of that, there is one agreement called GATS service. Okay. And today, lawyers, these all services, there are 160 plus services is part of this agreement, including my own profession. So another 5 years, another 10 years, part of the globalization it's happening. So today, what kind of, we parting to treaty is the, sovereign prerogative of the country. For example, India is sovereign country, whether we want to be party to any treaty or not. But once you say yes, then we have to follow. So India is the accepted part of the WTO, GATS agreement. Our legal profession is going to face the global challenge. Of course, it is based on the reciprocity. I allow other countries, India allows other countries, we go there. This kind of, what I am telling you, friend, it is going to be inevitable. Another 5 years, legal profession is going to be a different. Because today,
It will change.
Lot of domestic courts are confronting with the international issue. Like import, exports, all this now globalization is happening in the business. So, another, 20, 30 years back, things were different. Even I'm talking about domestic courts. Today, domestic courts are confronted with a lot of international, issues. So, studying of international law is imperative, important, need of the hour, I can say that. Since you said law, it is relevant. Yes, it is very much relevant. Not that. So, here, Mahindra, yes, sorry.
So basically, one of the most important question is like the law students. They often face ethical challenges in their legal career, most of the times. So how does any institution, not only Mahindra but any institution, prepare their students to deal with those challenges?
Of course, challenges are there, but like I said, I am a strong believer. I want to be a different from. Okay, how can we do that? So look at next 5 years, 10 years, what kind of areas which are reflecting. I'll share my own experience. Prabhav. When I was student in JNU, I used to work on air and space law. I'm talking about 30 years back. People used to laugh at me saying that Air Law means Air India, Indian Airlines. I'm talking about that. I know, and the space means nobody knows. But today I can share with you is that, today aviation means the kind of, airport infrastructure we are developing, employment. One airport gives thousands of jobs. But again, I'm telling you, can you check, anywhere? Nobody is giving the, education related to that. So I mean to say that, aviation. And today India has a population of 1.4 billion. Okay, if 1%, population comes from other modes to airport, 1% means 1 crore. India needs 700 to 800 aircrafts. India needs hundreds of airports. Do we have that? And again, I am asking you a question, not instead of you asking. Can you tell me any university in India offering courses in the airway? Not only aerospace, defense, maritime, these are all. I'm
I don't
telling
think
you,
so.
I am telling you, the kind of opportunities today we have from deep seabed to outer space. You name area. I'll tell you, I'm putting you, deep seabed. When I say deep seabed, you check, a document. There's a lot of sea, abundant resources available on the seas. That's why today countries are exciting. And, I have a course on maritime. There is the one, interesting
Very
document.
well.
It's not me. It is not me. Government of India released, one document called Maritime India Vision Document 2030. That document, it's a government document, so I'm quoting. That document says that, next 7 years, by 2030, next, 6, 7 years, India is going to have, like 3 lakh crores investment. In, maritime sector is going to generate maybe 30 lakh jobs. It is saying that. But again, my question is that, do you come across this kind of, education, maritime? There is a maritime university, maybe they deal with, but we need much more. That's where, I want. So what I want, unexplored area, there is a great demand. This kind of courses we have to, inculcate, and, I am doing. Today, with my courses, air law, space law, defense, maritime, all these thousands of professionals, whether Air Force officers, Army officers, naval officers, scientists are my students. You will, this kind of education gives employability, exchange of, knowledge, enhancement of knowledge. So what I mean to say that, I don't know whether I have able to answer. These are all things we have to see what is the, future, where employability in there. Country,
Right.
today country needs aviation lawyers, country needs maritime lawyers, country needs space, experts in space law, because technology is happening.
Basically, there is a stereotypical thinking that the law should be based on the Indian law, Indian crime. These are the 5 sectors they focus on majorly.
Okay. Now, no, yes, it was, the thinking. But today, lot of crime, you said that, Indian law should be, like Indian. Today, cyber technology, IP, all these cross-border in nature. And we have to, crime is, and, sitting somebody here, doing, cyber spotting, it affecting in other countries, they're all, international related. So, those days are gone. Only, this hour be only confined to. But we have to think beyond that. So that is where, again, we have to think next 5 years, next 10 years, what could be the, legal education of which are the area. So whatever the experience I have, I told you, thousands of officers got benefited with this kind of courses. And, my, one specific area, I don't know whether you are aerospace, defense, maritime education. I always say, aerospace, defense, maritime education is the doorstep of the needy with affordable cost. Okay? We should take, education to their, instead of their coming to the, technology.
That's correct.
Yeah, technology, don't ask officers to come and spend, maybe months or weeks here. You go there, online education you give, they will sit there, a respective place, you provide knowledge, it happens. So like this kind of stuff, innovative thinking should come. That's what my...
Thank you so much for this insight, sir. For the next question, it's an important one for me. Like, are the law schools in India meeting the necessary requirements for quality legal education? Because most of the schools, most of the legal educational institutions are opening day by day, but they have not the necessary requirements for the quality. So, if not, should the students who cannot secure admission in the prestigious law schools or which have a necessary requirements, equipments, everything that they should be have. So they should have the option to learn practical skills from a mentor or a practicing lawyer through apprenticeship model.
Definitely, few law schools like Nalsar are few, maybe tip of either few only giving good education, but bulk of today law colleges, law universities, to look at, we have a lot of challenges, infrastructure, resources, then faculty, practical training, legal writing. All these are all, whatever I am speaking, there's some, maybe good, law schools or some good private law colleges, but majority of the colleges today they are lacking all sorts of things. They don't have a teacher. They don't have a proper infrastructure. They don't have a classroom. They don't have a people who can teach this kind. That is the big challenge. Now maybe 10-15% of the people have access to this kind of whatever I spoke, but majority of the law school, there is a need of the hour is that if you want to reform, you have to reform there, because majority of the people, 10% maybe out of 100, 10 people maybe have access to good, this interdisciplinary, all those what we spoke, but 90% we had to target, and that is the challenge here, But definitely, it's a very, I don't know, but how to say, Bar Council has to take, that kind of, though they say that because that is the regulatory body, that
Because already you mentioned about like practical learning is far more better than the theoretical learning. Theoretical learning is a part of the curriculum. Basically, that should be there. But practical learning is more important than theoretical learning. And the practical learning they will get from apprenticeship models, from practice, from mentoring from practicing lawyer or a law firm or at any place. So they can also learn better from those places.
But that is true. But how many colleges providing this? That is the big challenge, because they don't have faculty. They don't have like mushrooming. Everybody is starting law school or law college. That is where the problem comes. So that's other thing I can tell you, because I'm from I'm part of the Nalsar from the beginning, and I've seen Nalsar started in 1998. We became number one in 2008. 10 years Nalsar became, it's a record. But because these are all law schools headed by at the Chief Justice of India, or Chief Justices are concerned. So here we have a lot of freedom, less political interference, experiment. And this is an experiment, Prabhav, we did in India. The world, there is nowhere you will find, a exclusive law university. Single discipline law university sort of thing. India, we did. Of course, we started with the Bangalore, then also today have 45 law universities, law schools later. There are some private also they are coming, like Mahindra, Jindal, this kind of. So that is, but again, coming back to the majority of the schools in India, they are not access what you said, whether it's a practical thing or about courts or being research skills or internships. These are lacking. Majority of the colleges that what the government or everybody should think in that line.
Definitely, you highlighted the most important things. Thank you. And with the last question, I'd like to end. Like, what advice would you like to give to the students who is about to start their career in the law education, especially in the light of the recent changes in the law?
Okay. So, of course, the legal education, has to be part of the globalization and said, by foremost advice to, students is that they should have a adaptiveness. Okay, what is happening, we should, open for that. That, legal landscape should be like continuous evolving sort of thing. And, you are ready to take, any new idea, any new challenge. That's one. First, recent changes. We should have, one is, what is happening around us, or, say, inform about the recent changes in the law or understanding their implication. That's the one, my suggestion to our students. How will you learn? Like reading, legal journals, following, permanent cases, and also, participating in the discussion, legal forums, these kind of things, they can update their things. No, so latest development, that's one. Secondly, strong foundation, both, traditional legal subjects, I told you in the beginning of my thing, emerging, both you need to have, like CPC, CRBC, what you are spending, new law for So we have both procedural laws, then all that strong, like any practicing lawyer, he or she has to have basically this thing. But along with that, new areas, emerging areas, updating areas, like whether it is a baby corporate laws, intellectual property, or cyber laws, or IP laws, or IT laws. This kind of blend of both, traditional and modern. That is, my thing. Then, of course, I said critical analytical skills, critical thinking, that is, any student should impart that. Like, memorizing, statutes, case laws, about, understanding the principle. And if something, case is there, he has to look, he has to look at, why this case, what was the background of that. What
Basically,
is the,
research
yes,
things.
yes, exactly. Discussed in the case, what is the argument put forwarded by, both the parties. What is the, that case has given to the, existing literature. For example, if we use something on international law, how this particular thing is helping in existing literature. This kind of critical thinking, analytical skills, I think, any students should know. Also, again, connect with the teachers, peers, professors, legal professional, internship, mentorships. These are also, again, students should adapt. And lastly, of course, in Mahindra, service-oriented profession. Because it's the law is not that money. It's a competition. Law. So that's where I think are we updated ourselves? Are we am I a product which I can go and argue? That kind of I think um, challenges are that kind of updating. I think every student. And today, my last advice to most of the students who are doing law is they should shift from Facebook to textbook. Now we are all into not
Facebook
taking
is
original thing. Everything is happening. Yeah, textbook.
definitely
I think they should study. That helps the student to understand the basics, and that basics will help him to argumentation and other.
definitely. You mentioned a lot of things about the legal education in India, sir. Thank you so much for like you highlighted all the words that I needed to ask, like the multidisciplinary, the role of technology in education, the new education, the NEP, and you mentioned everything about what I was having the questions about, and you cleared all of those things. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for taking your time, sir.
Nice talking to you. But nice talking.